My name is Gaynell Brady. I am the Executive Director of the Lower Ninth Ward Homeownership Association. I am joined today also by my co-workers, Cynthia Gillette, M.A. Sheehan, and also Sarah Bruzy, who will be behind the scenes, stepping into the program when needed. So I want to thank you all again for joining us. Tonight it is an honor to be here with Linda's family and friends, and also with the recipients of the very first award. Tonight we're here to honor Darren Mckinney, Hattie Kraft, Jill Robinson, Kermit Gary, Daryl Lawrence, Hazard Gillette, Doris Wyman, Aaron Mercadel, and Reverend Richard Bell. This is all done to remember. Every year, we're going to do this every year to remember Linda Jackson and everything that she has contributed to our community, to our city, and to our country. Next slide, Sarah. So tonight, we're going to do a quick introduction of the award itself. I'm going to introduce my wonderful coworker, mentor, everything. M.A. Sheehan is our housing director at the Lower Ninth Ward Homeownership Association. We'll have a presentation on Linda's contributions to the L9 by M.A. Sheehan. And then we'll also have a word from Linda's family after they're introduced by M.A. Sheehan. So we're going to start sharing the screen again. And I want to thank you all for joining us on Facebook Live. Just to let you guys know, this is being recorded for playback later. And as soon as we start sharing again, I will continue on to read the program. We're going to also be joined tonight by Councilwoman Cyndi Nyguen's office, who will be presenting proclamations from the city. All of our recipients will actually receive hard copies of their certificates and proclamations by end of week. So just to introduce the award to you guys, the purpose of this award, when we came up with this award, one of the things that we wanted to do, we wanted to find a way to make sure that we remember Linda Jackson and everything that Linda stood for. And one thing that we all know is that Linda was a good neighbor. She helped everyone that she could. And we wanted this award to be able to honor those who are keeping up Linda's legacy, who are keeping up the work that Linda did. So this award recognizes individuals who possess the qualities of dependability, service, and leadership in their homes and communities. These are our neighbors who are always helping other neighbors. Next slide, Sarah. This award also honors folks who are kind of distribute all of the qualities of volunteerism, leadership, and care. These good neighbors are nominated by other neighbors, and they're selected by L9WHA staff because they demonstrate all of the characteristics. So again, when these folks were selected, the nominations that we've read were so beautiful. And later on in today's presentation, I will share with you a little snippet of each nomination, and also if they're on the line, have that person to give a word. Next slide, Sarah. So right now I'm going to turn it over to my coworker, M.A. Sheehan, as she's going to introduce Linda's family and other special guests on the call.
Okay, got myself unmuted. Thank you, Gaynell. And I really want to thank Gaynell for being the one who had the idea of doing the Good Neighbor Award and really made sure that we found this way to honor Linda and everything that she has done for her beloved community. We have a whole bunch of Linda's family with us today. We're so grateful to have you all here. I wanted to actually begin by just remembering a little bit about how Linda felt about her family. There was only one thing she loved more than the Lower Ninth Ward, and that was her family. As much as she fought for her community, she fought for her family. She was supporting them, pushing them, celebrating with them, doing everything she could for them. She'd always be asking me for advice for someone or telling me about her driving across the state for her grandson's basketball games. or telling me about taking the kids to the buffet at the Silver Slipper or the water park or Mardi Gras parades in Slidell. So if it sounds like she was ripping and running, she always was. And she would do anything for her family. So it's just a great honor to have you all here with us today. So we have Linda's daughter, Judy Johnson, and her son, William Jackson. And I know her daughter, Malika Jackson, wanted to be here also, but she may not have been able to manage the Zoom. So if anybody sees Malika come in, please let us know, because we want to see her and we want to see Linda's grandchildren. In addition, Linda's aunt, Diane, is here, and I think Lisa is with her. And then we have Keith and Patrice and Jonice, is that right? And I'm sure I'm forgetting some, but we have a whole host of Linda's family members here. If anybody else wants to introduce themselves or introduce somebody that I've missed, do.
Hey, thank you.
I'm not Lisa. You could just use me as Erlene. Because I think you said Lisa. They call me Pisa. But you said Lisa. You can.
Thank you.
The internet's having issues.
This is Anthony M.A., Linda's oldest grandson, the one who
Oh,
drives cross country.
thank you so much for being here. That means so much. I know she would have been so happy just to have this opportunity to get all the family members together in and of itself is really special.
Yes,
I wanted to also say a few things, obviously, about how much Linda gave to the Lower Ninth Ward. It was barely 6 months after the levees collapsed that she started the Lower Ninth Ward Home Ownership Association. And her vision was people speaking for themselves. She always used to say, nothing about us without us is for us. And that was the motto that kept her going. So from that early start, 6 months after Katrina, for another 14 years, she was still fighting the fight. The very night before she went into the hospital, she was at a board meeting talking about the expansion of the organization in the face of the coronavirus. So she never, ever stopped fighting for the Lower Ninth Ward. In the years in between those two things, she did almost everything there was to do in the neighborhood. She did case management for people applying for disaster recovery funds. She was the parliamentarian of the Stakeholders Coalition. She was the vice chair of the school advisory group, one of the people who really did manage to get the lawless school back and to insist that lawless be part of the name. She used to bring in volunteers and take them to overgrown lots where their sweat and their spirit was needed to help clean up our neighborhood. She spearheaded a study of minority health disparities in the neighborhood. She fought the widening of the industrial canal. Like, there was almost nothing she didn't do. And then we also had an epic battle with the Road Home program that she and I worked really closely on, which resulted in millions of dollars coming to the Lower Ninth Ward to rebuild houses. Most of all, she had an unerring instinct for people who didn't really have the interests of the neighborhood at heart. You could always find her in the back of the room, just taking it all in until she pinpointed the exact issue. She would ask a very pointed question and slice right through all the BS to get to what the community really needed. And that was sort of the essence of who Linda was in the neighborhood. Periodically, usually out of the blue, Linda would say to me, "You know, I love you." She knew I felt I hadn't done enough and that we should have been able to bring more people home, but she always knew better. She knew when you're fighting the good fight, you don't always win, but you keep at it one way or another. And that's why she would have loved the good neighbors that we honor here tonight so much. She would have loved you because you keep at it. You keep doing everything you can to help your neighbors, to heal your community, to make the Lower Ninth Ward the best place it can be for everyone who lives here. So we honor Linda today also because it's her birthday. So we want to say happy birthday to Linda. We want to acknowledge that this is the perfect way to honor her. She would have been so proud that each of our honorees this year now carry the name of the Linda Jackson Good Neighbor. So happy birthday, Linda, and we love you. So the next thing, oh yeah, really great. The middle picture is the head of the Greater New Orleans Foundation, who came to one of our fundraisers when we had raised some money at Give NOLA Day. The picture on the right is when the plaque was built, was put up next to the levee breach that Linda had fought so hard for. That also, that was that picture on the right. I think the next thing we were going to do was a few members of the family. We've asked a few members of the family to share a few memories, say a few words about their mother, Linda. I think Judy Johnson, her daughter, is going to go first. So take it away, Judy.
Thank you, Amy. Hello, everybody, and I want to thank you all again for being part of the Linda Jackson Good Neighbor Award, and I want to thank you all for doing your part to keep her legacy alive. To the organization itself, please keep fighting the good fight. That's one thing that my mother would be very proud of you guys if y'all can keep it going on. She fought for a long time for the Lower Ninth Ward. I'm just going to piggyback off of what you were saying, Amy. Just before Katrina, my mother saw the need that the Lower Ninth Ward needed representation. She seen that the councilman or the councilwoman that was over that area was not doing enough for the actual community. I grew up in the Lower Ninth Ward. I went to St. David's School. I went to McCarty School, that's now called the Martin Luther King School. So my mother has been in that area for a very long time. She has watched the community change so many times, but it was never, ever for the good. So now my mother said, you know what? It's time for somebody to step up and speak for the community, which she did. She said they needed representation. And instead of just saying it, she showed up at council meetings, stood up when she heard something that was not of the community, and she let it be known that, hey, the Lower Ninth Ward needs this. The Lower Ninth Ward deserves this. It got passed over for years, even decades, without getting the proper funding from the city or the state it needed to keep that area functionable. But what did keep the area functionable was my mother and a lot of the neighbors like her. When Katrina hit, my mother seen that we needed to get the people back. They needed to not lose their property. We needed not to let the city or the state take the property from them because of this devastating situation. I remember sitting there with stacks of papers in front of me before the organization really came to fruition. And she just gets you like, look, you need to call all these people and you need to let them know that their property is theirs and they need to come back home or they need to send a representation. And I'm like, well, Mama, what do you want me to tell them? She's like, just tell them just what I said. And if y'all all know Linda, y'all know I'm not saying anything wrong. She's like, just repeat what I said. Just let them know that they need to come and at least acknowledge that it's their property. Go to City Hall, come to me. Let me know that you still want your property so it doesn't be taken. Make some kind of provisions to keep your land up, even if you don't build on it. Talk to me, I'll keep the grass cut. And we all know that my mother had different church groups from around the United States come in and cut the grass. and keep the lights up every summer. Sometimes during their off, some college students used to come in during their off time. So again, I just want to say thank you for keeping this going. I want to say thank you to all of you guys on the board. I want to say thank you to all the neighbors that are being honored. And please continue to fight the good fight. Thank you.
Who had said that? Who had said that?
I was
Judy?
Yes,
Hello?
I'm done.
Okay, hi, my name is Erlene. I'm Linda's niece, first niece, and also her godchild. And my nanny was a really good person. She always encouraged us to do our best at anything we do. She did it with me, and she also preached it to my children. You know, go for everything you want. And she also encouraged me to take care of my children and love my family. And I do. And I'm kind of lost for words looking at her picture right now. It's
Yeah.
just not coming to me. So I'm kind of done here. You can go ahead, Will.
All right, thank you, Pisa. I'm William Jackson. I'm Linda's middle child and only boy. And as I listen to the things that MA said, the things that my sister Judy said, and all the things that were presented, one word comes to mind for me when we think about my mother, and that word is sacrifice.
Mm.
She sacrificed herself, her finances, her time, not in a bad way, but she was the kind of person that would give her last if she felt like it helped someone else. So I thank the organization for carrying on this legacy in her honor. And I hope that it continues on and that everyone continues to embody the spirit of sacrifice that my mother displayed for her family, her community, and even strangers that she didn't know.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, William. That summarizes her perfectly. Really, really appreciate that. I think Gaynell is, we're moving to the portion of the program where we honor the people who really are continuing to carry on Linda's spirit. So.
And yes, I am here. I had to gather myself. I can confess that, this time of the year is challenging for a lot of us who live and work in Lower 9. And I'm grateful to have so many wonderful local heroes that we can look up to. And that's how I see Linda, as a local hero, as someone who gave her everything to the community. And I'm going to move on into the recipients tonight and share a little bit about their stories and why they were nominated as well. So, Sarah, next slide. So the first person that I want to recognize is Darren Mckinney. And I've heard so many incredible things about Darren from people who live in the community. And this is a snippet of what was mentioned about Darren in his nomination form. It says, Darren is often seen helping to rebuild the Lower 9. Although he works with volunteers at his job, he doesn't mind stepping in, helping the elderly people in the community. Darren didn't just start doing this work with the storm. He has been doing this work. I believe Darren is on the call with us tonight. Darren, are you here? And you can unmute yourself if you're here.
Yes, I'm here.
So Darren, I'm also going to get Linda's family, who's doing the first handing off.
Hi.
Judy. Judy.
Hi.
Hi, Miss Judy. Can you present the award to Darren?
Yes. Hi, Darren.
And how you doing?
I'm good. On behalf of Linda Jackson, Darren, I want to present this Good Neighbor Award to you for being an outstanding citizen in the Lower Ninth Ward, and we thank you.
Thank y'all. That's just something I was born and raised, but you know, like my mama say, do unto others as they want done unto you.
We appreciate you, Darren. We really do. I heard a lot of wonderful things. In fact, you wouldn't know it, but my dad, Charles Banks, when he heard that you were getting the award, he said, that's a good dude. He totally deserves this. So thank you on behalf of everybody, Darren. We really appreciate you.
Y'all welcome.
Next slide, Sarah. Woo, this is going to be a rough one. Is Miss Hattie Kraft. Tasha, are you on the call for Miss Hattie?
I'm
Is Miss
here.
Hattie on?
I'm here.
Is
I'm
Miss-
not sure if Miss Hattie got on. We're in different houses.
Okay.
I'm here though.
Okay. So Miss Hattie Kraft was nominated by her granddaughter, Tasha Kraft Harris. And I just want to share a little bit about Miss Hattie. I had the fortune of basically growing up under Miss Hattie Kraft. If you lived anywhere near La Mancha and Russell Blade, you know who Miss Hattie Kraft is, Mrs. Hattie Kraft. Hattie Kraft has lived in the Lower Ninth Ward since the 1940s. Hattie was actively involved in the church and in the civil rights movement in New Orleans. In the 1960s, Hattie Mae Kraft was actively involved in the Betsy Flood Victims of the Lower Ninth Ward, where she served as secretary. The organization was dedicated to ensuring homeowners were able to remain in their homes after Hurricane Betsy. Tasha, would you like to say a few words about Grandma?
You know, you put me on the spot, Gaynell. I'm not really good with this, but you know her really well, so you go right ahead.
So, you know, I've known Miss Hattie Kraft for a long time, and one of the things that I was working with Tasha at one point on looking up Miss Hattie for genealogy, and I noticed that Miss Hattie was just always a kind person, just helping people, helping homeowners in the area, helping residents, helping renters. I remember for the Christmas time, she would always give us the snowballs, 2 for $1. I remember that. And when Tasha told me that Miss Hattie will be 99 years old, it just touched my heart that she has been blessed with longevity. So I just want to thank Miss Hattie Kraft, and I want to give it over to Miss Judy to present the award.
Okay, thank you. Tasha. Miss Tasha Harris.
Yes,
How you
ma'am.
doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. First, I want to say 99 years. That woman has a lot of history in
Yes,
New
ma'am.
Orleans. And I'm sure my mother had many, many conversations with her. So on behalf of Linda Jackson, I present this Good Neighbor Award to Miss Hattie Kraft for just continuing to fight the good fight and sacrificing just like my mother did. Thank you, Tasha, for being here to represent your grandmother and tell her from us, Linda Jackson's children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, that we appreciate her and we thank her.
Well,
All
on
right,
behalf of my grandmother, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate what you're doing and recognizing some of the citizens. And she may not see this live, but she will see it because I'm screen recording it as well, just so I can show it to her when we celebrate her birthday in a couple of weeks. And thank y'all again.
Thank you, Tasha. Okay, Sarah. Woo! Miss Jill, I know you're on the call. And I wanted, Jill is just amazing. If you have ever interacted with Jill, I'm just going to add this piece in. She has a heart of gold. So I'm just going to read to you what the person who nominated Jill said. Jill is a trooper. When it's time to get something done, she's on the front line. She gets up early on Saturday mornings and clean up various spots such as Holy Cross. When the neighborhood kids needed snacks, she gave them. When Hurricane Zeta hit and the 9th Ward was in the dark, she and others parked in MLK parking lot and gave out candy out of a trunk. That's just Jill. Jill did the same thing for Easter. We appreciate you, Jill. Miss Judy?
Thank
And
you,
Jill,
Gail.
are you on? Mm-hmm.
Hi, Jill. On behalf of Linda Jackson, I would like to present this Good Neighbor Award to you, Jill Robinson, for being an outstanding Lower Ninth Ward citizen. Thank you, and please keep up the good work.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. When I learned I was a recipient, I was flabbergasted. I wasn't expecting anything, but still not sure I deserve it. But I'm certainly humbled by it and hope to live up to this recognition. So thank you. I'm very grateful for this.
Thank you, Jill. You totally deserve it. All right, Mr. Kermit. I believe Mr. Kermit is joining us via phone. Kermit Gary. And here's a little bit about what the person who nominated Kermit said. I found out about Mr. Kermit Gary through Mr. Errol Joseph, a resident in our community. Mr. Gary called our office concerning 6 garbage bags that had been left on North Galvin Street after a filming crew had completed filming. He wanted to know how to get bags picked up because they were left on a corner where there is not an address. Before sanitation could pick up the bags, Mr. Gary took it upon himself to have the bags removed. I have also seen him on North Galvin Street on a daily basis, picking up paper, bottles, and cans, and etc. So thank you for your service, Mr. Gary. And if you're on, please unmute yourself now. And Ms. Judy or Will.
Thank you, Ganelle. Mr. Kermit, are you there? On behalf of Linda Jackson, Mr. Kermit, I would like to present the Good Neighbor Award to you for your outstanding neighborship. And again, I just want you to keep doing what you're doing. Thank you. Ganelle, I don't think he chimed in, but you can take it away.
I'm not sure. He could be having technical difficulties. Thank you, Ms. Judy. Okay, and the next one is Daryl Lawrence. And the nominator said, Daryl stopped by my place last summer when I moved in to introduce himself and to offer pointers about the neighborhood. Since then, we catch up every couple of weeks. He has supported my farm by purchasing honey for his family. Just last week, he surprised me with a platter of turkey necks from his son's school fundraiser. He has introduced me to family and friends and made me feel welcome in the Lower 9. Daryl, are you on? It doesn't sound like it. Ms. Judy, is it still you or are we switching over now?
It's still me.
Okay. No, it's a great thing, Ms. Judy. Don't take it that way.
Oh, no, it's fine. On behalf of Linda Jackson, I want to present the Good Neighbor Award to Daryl Lawrence. Mr. Daryl, when you do get to see this video or hear this video, on behalf of my mother, my siblings, and myself, we would like to say thank you for all your hard work, and please continue to do what you're doing for the Lower Ninth Ward. Thank you. Ganelle, take it away.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so we're on to Mr. Hazard Gillette. And I'm not sure if we have someone from his family on, but Hazard Gillette has lived in the Lower Ninth Ward for decades. He constantly checks on the neighbors to make sure that we have food and good seeds for our gardens. He is always the first one to volunteer to assist you with repairs on your home. He and his family were members of Greater Little Zion for years. When we first arrived in this section of the neighborhood, he greeted us with a loaf of homemade bread. And if you live in the Holy Cross area, I will tell you that you know who Hazard Gillette is. He is the guy riding around on the bike, saying hello to everyone, helping out in every way that he can. Is anyone on from Mr. Hazard's family, Mr. Gillette's family? It doesn't sound like it. Okay, next, Miss Judy.
No, Ganelle, that will be my brother, William.
William.
On behalf of Linda Jackson, I would like to present this Good Neighbor Award to Hazard Gillette, who sounds as though he has that upbeat, great, lively spirit, just as Linda had.
Thank you,
And now-
William. Thank you, William. All right, the next recipient is Doris Wyman. If you lived or driven through the lower Ninth Ward in the last 10 years, you've probably seen a strong, determined woman collecting litter in a little red wagon or a large contractor bags in our neutral grounds from the Judge Sieber Bridge to Sanchez Center. Doris told Constance that she saw a need for maintaining modeling care for our community, so she stepped up and has never stopped. The person who nominated her also said almost all litter comes from outside the community, including tires, mattresses, carpet, and to-go food containers, and anything else you can imagine. Thank you, Doris. And I'm going to turn it over to William now. And Doris, if you're on, please chime in or unmute yourself.
Well, to Miss Doris, she sounds exactly like the type of person that has, again, the spirit that Linda Jackson had. So on behalf of Linda Jackson, I present to you this Good Neighbor Award.
Thank you, William. Okay, next is Mr. Aaron Mercadel. Aaron Mercadel, he lives across the street from us. Ever since we purchased our home and began renovations, Aaron lends a helping hand with tools, advice, and a history of the neighborhood. He shared food, mowed our parkway, put away trash cans. The number says the very best thing that he does, he picks up trash on our blocks all the time. Is anyone from Aaron's family here? Or is Aaron here? William?
To Mr. Aaron Mercadel, continue to pour life into your community just as Linda did. And I would like to present this Good Neighbor Award to you on behalf of Linda Jackson.
Thank you, William. And last but certainly not least, Reverend Richard Bell. Reverend Bell plays an important role in many organizations in the Lower Ninth Ward community and other organizations in other communities. He is the president of the Council on Aging, RSVP, Retired Senior Volunteer Program. Reverend Bell is a wealth of information about many topics. Reverend Bell has many great qualities, but the one that stands out is his commitment. Once he commits to carry out what is asked of him, you can be assured that it will be fulfilled. Reverend Bell, are you on? Okay, William?
Reverend Richard Bell, on behalf of Linda Jackson, I would like to present this Good Neighbor Award to you for the many great qualities that you possess and pouring into your community.
Thank you, William. And we just received the message that Councilwoman Cyndi Nguyen's office, Councilwoman Cyndi Nyguen is running a little bit late for this call, and I'm pretty sure she is devastated that she cannot be here. So on behalf of her office, I want to issue the proclamations on behalf of Councilwoman Cyndi Nguyen's office. Both the proclamations and the awards will be presented to the recipients. Councilwoman Nguyen is dedicated to hand delivering the awards to every recipient. So instead of getting them mailed, she wants to put them in your hands. So thank you all again, William, Ms. Judy, and all of Linda's family for helping me keep it together and stay focused with this ceremony. I hope that every year we will be able to do this in Linda's honor. And just, Linda, happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Sarah, can you close it out?
I consider it a true joy and honor to work with the Lower Ninth Ward Homeownership Association and have had the opportunity to work with Linda. What an incredible evening of just being able to honor her and to celebrate those who are continuing to work in her memory. We do have some other events going on this week, so definitely spread the word and let people know what else is going on. Tomorrow evening on our Facebook page, which again is www.facebook.com/L9WHA. We're going to have a representative from the Metropolitan Human Services District on Wednesday morning for our early risers. We're going to be out at 7 a.m. at Deslond at the levee in the river with Yoga with Swan River. And they're going to be out there along with our board director. So she will be out there carrying on Linda's legacy as well. Thursday, we are going to have a virtual conversation called the L9 Homecoming, a conversation with L9 residents, both current and former L9 residents, talking about our neighborhood. Saturday, we have a huge event from 12 to 4 at Oliver Bush Park here right around the corner. We have a huge resource fair. There's over 40 different organizations, ministries, and individuals that are going to be handing out school uniforms. There's going to be vaccinations. There's going to be hot dogs and snowballs and nachos. There's going to be resources for everything you can possibly imagine. So please pass the word. And then Sunday, there's actually a couple of events. There's going to be one that starts at 11 a.m. at MLK Elementary School. It's going to be a march, as well as a conversation with the mayor. Then at 12 o'clock, we will have the Hurricane Katrina healing ceremony and second line. That's going to be on Jordan Avenue at the plaque that we saw earlier that Linda helped to get installed here in the neighborhood. And at 2 o'clock, there will be another ceremony in that same location with Robert Greene, the annual ceremony there as well. So all of these are posted on our webpage. If you missed any of them or need the links or need any information or want to share them, go to www.l9wha.org to the events, and you'll see all the Katrina commemoration events.
Can I just say again how grateful I am to all of Linda's family for being here, and to Judy and William for so beautifully presenting the awards. You just made it so special.
Thank you.
Okay, does anyone else have any last words that we want to end with?
I just would like to thank y'all for nominating me for the award that was presented today.
You're welcome, Darren.
You deserve it.
William, you're unmuted. Do you have any last words? Or anything you want to close out with?
Actually, I'm gonna go against my own rule. And well, because a ton of people have logged in, and there's been a lot of extended family members of Linda's, which is actually my wife's family. I think like all of them are in here somewhere.
Wow.
So my wife, Karina Jackson, anybody that sees that name on the screen, that's my wife. My children are here, Jawan, Latrice, and another William Jackson. He's in here. My nephew, Willow Boy, that's actually another William Jackson. That's Judy's son.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to thank Patrice, Keith, and Jonice for taking the time. Definitely Pisa and Aunt Diane, or Erlene, as she introduced herself, Pisa did. I appreciate y'all for taking the time out. Annette and George Cleckley are on the call. And those are some extended family members of Linda's through my wife. And then my mother and father-in-law on here, Cynthia Green and Clark Green are also on here. It just goes to show the impact that Linda had on a lot of different people. And I'll lastly say a huge thank you to M.A. Sheehan. Actually, I'm gonna get beat up if I don't say that David is here. Linda's other grandchild is here. And I know that Sharice and Reggie are also on here, which is my brother-in-law and sister-in-law on my wife's side. But I would like to lastly say thank you so much to M.A. for everything you did from the moment that the worst days of our life ever happened. And then Gaynell for doing what you do with the organization and putting all this together and this being your brainchild, as well as Sarah Bruzy. Thank you all for all that you have done to keep Linda Jackson's legacy alive. Thank you all.
It's an honor, William. It's an honor. So on that note, we're going to close out. We're going to continue to do what Linda's family has advised us to do. We are going to continue to fight. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to make this community better for everybody, especially with all of the good neighbors standing by our sides and fighting with us. We know that she is watching down on us and making sure that we're staying on task. So I'm up, William. No, I'm up. I don't sleep. I'm making sure I'm sending those emails out at 2 a.m. They're all laughing because I do it.
Thank you.
We
May I
can't
ask a
stop.
question?
We can't stop.
I'm sorry. May I ask one question?
Yes, Tasha.
I tried to jot it down and I wasn't fast enough. What was the saying Miss Linda said? Was it nothing for us? Somebody refresh me, please. Nothing for us. Without
Nothing
us.
about us without us is for us. Did you
Thank
catch
you
that?
so much. I got it.
Yeah,
Got
she
it.
said that all the time.
I like it.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, William, thank you so much for introducing everybody. I appreciate that so much. I had noticed that Latrice had come on. Latrice volunteered for us, did really great work with our mailing lists and stuff. I guess that was following on Judy's work at the very, very beginning with contact lists. So it's really nice to have you here, Latrice.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I'm not going to get on camera right now, but I am glad to be here.
That's okay. And Malika's kids would also volunteer with us. Linda would have them stuffing envelopes and passing out flyers and stuff like that. So that was really fun. It really has been a family undertaking.
Linda was phenomenal at getting things done. She would volunteer for a lot of stuff and then drag everybody else to get it done.
Exactly. And y'all did it.
So thank y'all so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, William.
Thank you all for coming. We hope to see you all here again next year. Thank you all again. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
I'm here.
Good
Bye,
night.
everyone.
Thank y'all again. Good night.
Good night.